Welcome to English Tales, where every story touches your heart. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to lose everything? Your family, your freedom, even your own identity? But what if one person's love and bravery could turn the tables against all odds? This is the incredible story of a mother trapped in a cruel magician's spell, a son who refuses to give up on her, and a secret so shocking it will leave you breathless. Will he succeed in breaking the curse and reuniting his family? Or will evil win this time? Stay with us till the end, because trust me, you won't believe what happens next. This is the story of a man named Henry and his three lovely daughters. His wife had passed away several years earlier, leaving him to raise the girls on his own. Among the three, the youngest, Sophia, stood out as the most intelligent. Despite the loss of their mother, Henry ensured that his daughters never felt her absence, showering them with love and fulfilling every wish they had. As time went by, the daughters grew older and began taking care of their father. Whenever Henry left for work, his daughters would prepare meals for him with great affection. Their cooking became a symbol of their love and devotion. In the same village lived a widow who had a daughter. This woman was known for visiting different households to ask for small favors. Every time Henry's daughters cooked, she would show up at their door, asking for fire to light her stove. Sophia, however, didn't trust this woman. She often questioned her sisters. Why does she keep coming here? Something about her doesn't feel right. Her elder sisters, trying to be kind, would reply, "She's just a poor widow, Sophia. If giving her fire helps her, why not? It doesn't cost us anything." Though Sophia kept quiet after hearing this, unease lingered in her heart. She warned her sisters, "Mark my words, this woman will bring trouble one day." Days turned into weeks, and the widow continued her visits. What no one realized was that she had been secretly mixing ash in Henry's food whenever she came to borrow fire. One day, Henry noticed that his meal tasted strange. He wondered if his young daughters had made a mistake while cooking. Though he loved them dearly and couldn't bring himself to scold them, he was puzzled. Why did his food always taste off? Determined to find answers, Henry decided to observe them quietly one day. Everything seemed normal. His eldest daughter was washing the rice, the middle one was preparing the curry, and Sophia was busy cleaning the dishes. Nothing appeared out of place. Confused, Henry thought, where could the problem be? Just then, something caught his eye. The widow walked in as usual, pretending to need fire. Sophia tried to confront her, but her elder sisters intervened, saying, "Let her take the fire, Sophia. She's a widow, don't be harsh." But Henry saw something shocking. While pretending to take the fire, the widow swiftly mixed ash into his food. Furious, Henry confronted her the next day. "How dare you tamper with my food?" he demanded angrily. The widow stepped closer, placing her hand gently on his chest, and said in a sweet tone, "Oh, don't be upset. I was only testing you. I wanted to see if you truly love your daughters. Would you blame them for ruining your food? But you're such a kind and loving father. You figured it out so quickly. Now I'm certain of your deep affection for your daughters. I promise this will never happen again." Henry believed the widow's words. Her beauty and gentle demeanor left a strong impression on him, and without much thought, he decided to marry her. Within just a few days, he tied the knot with her, never once consulting his daughters about their feelings, and brought her into their home. However, things took a dark turn shortly after the marriage. The widow began to resent Henry's daughters. She wanted them out of the picture so that she and her own daughter could live comfortably and enjoy all of Henry's wealth. She knew very well that Henry loved his daughters deeply and would never let them suffer, but that didn't stop her from plotting against them. Her own daughter always dressed in expensive clothes, looking stylish and modern, while she forced Henry's daughters to do all the household chores. She barely gave them enough food to eat and gradually stripped away every comfort they had. The three sisters were constantly sad and felt helpless under her cruel treatment. One day, as the two elder sisters sat crying, Sophia approached them and said, "Dear sisters, let's step outside for a while. It might help clear our minds." The three of them left the house and walked until they reached a thick forest. There they sat beneath a large tree, tears streaming down their faces as they remembered their late mother. Just then, an elderly man passed by. He noticed Sophia sitting on the ground, weeping and praying, "Oh God, we are innocent girls suffering so much. Our stepmother treats us cruelly, and we've gone hungry for days." The old man stopped and listened to their sorrowful words. Stepping closer, he asked gently, "My dear children, I see you here often. What is troubling you? Please tell me everything." With tears in her eyes, Sophia recounted their entire story. The old man was deeply moved by their plight. He said, "My dear girls, I live in a small hut nearby. Outside my hut stands a large pomegranate tree full of sweet, ripe fruits. Go there and take as many pomegranates as you wish." Overjoyed, the three sisters hurried to the old man's hut. They found a magnificent tree laden with juicy pomegranates. Each of them picked one and ate until they were satisfied. Grateful, the sisters thanked the old man and returned home happily. From that day forward, whenever their stepmother denied them food, they would visit the forest and fill their stomachs with the delicious pomegranates. Over time, they stopped eating the meager meals their stepmother provided altogether. Their stepmother soon grew suspicious. She thought to herself, "I barely feed these girls. I make them work all day and treat them harshly, yet they still look healthy and radiant. Meanwhile, my own daughter, whom I pamper and feed well, looks pale and dull in comparison." The next day, when the three sisters went to the forest, their stepmother secretly sent her daughter to follow them. As the sisters picked and ate the pomegranates, Sophia spotted their stepsister hiding behind a tree. She whispered to her elder sisters, "That girl is spying on us. I'll scare her off." But her elder sisters intervened, saying, "Sophia, don't be unkind. She hasn't done anything wrong. Our stepmother may trouble us, but this girl hasn't." Instead of scaring her away, they invited their stepsister to join them and even offered her a pomegranate. However, instead of eating it, she rushed back home and told her mother everything. "Mother, those girls aren't hungry at all. They eat sweet pomegranates from a tree in the forest. An old man who prays there lets them eat as much as they want." When their stepmother heard this, she became very angry. She thought, "How can I stop them from eating those pomegranates?" She spent the whole day thinking of a plan. That evening, when Henry came home from work, he saw his wife looking sad. "What's wrong? Why do you look so upset?" he asked. She sighed and said, "I have a terrible headache, and no medicine is helping." Henry asked, "Then what can we do to fix it?" She quickly replied, "In the forest, there's a pomegranate tree with bright red fruits. If you cut it down and bring me its roots, I can boil them to make medicine. That will cure my pain." Without thinking twice, Henry called some men, gave them money, and told them, "Go to the forest, find the pomegranate tree, and cut it down completely. Bring me its roots." Within a few hours, the men returned with the tree's roots. Henry quickly lit a fire, made the medicine, and applied it to his wife's forehead. Soon she smiled and said, "I feel much better now." The next day, when the three sisters went to the forest, they were shocked. The pomegranate tree was gone, completely destroyed. Their hearts sank. "What will we eat now?" they cried. Feeling helpless, they sat under the big tree and began to cry. Their cries reached the ears of the old man, who came out of his hut. He understood what had happened. The old man saw them crying and said gently, "Don't be sad, my dear children. God will give you something even better." Then he pointed to the ground, and suddenly a small river appeared. But this wasn't an ordinary river. It flowed with fresh, white milk instead of water. The old man handed them a clay cup and said, "Drink as much milk as you want from here." The sisters were thrilled. They filled the cup with milk and drank until they were full. After thanking the old man, they happily went back home. From that day on, they made it their daily routine. Every day, they would go to the river, fill their clay cup with milk, drink it, and return home. But their stepmother grew even more suspicious. She noticed that despite not giving them food, the sisters looked healthier and more beautiful every day. She called her daughter and said, "I destroyed the pomegranate tree, but these girls still look strong and well-fed. What are they eating?" She ordered her daughter, "Follow them again and find out their secret." The stepsister did as she was told and secretly followed the three sisters into the forest. This time, while they were drinking milk from the clay cup, Sophia turned around and saw her spying again. Sophia quickly whispered to her sisters, "Look, she's following us again. We need to send her away before she sees everything. If she tells our stepmother about the river, we'll be in big trouble." But her elder sister scolded her, saying, "Sophia, why are you always so harsh? Our stepmother is cruel, but this girl hasn't done anything wrong. Sophia stayed quiet. The sisters then invited their stepsister to sit with them and offered her a cup of milk. She drank it and quickly ran back home to tell her mother everything. "Mother," she exclaimed, "I saw them drinking milk from a magical river in the forest. An old man gave them a clay cup, and they drink fresh milk from there every day." When the stepmother heard this, she became extremely angry. She immediately called some men from the village and offered them a lot of money. "Go to the forest," she ordered. "Destroy the old man's hut and fill the river with dirt. I don't want even a drop of milk left." The men followed her orders. They destroyed the old man's hut and filled the river with mud. That night, the stepmother felt satisfied, believing she had finally won. The next day, when the three sisters went to the forest, they were heartbroken. "The river is gone. The old man's hut is destroyed. What will we do now?" With tears in their eyes and empty stomachs, they returned home, feeling completely hopeless. Their stepmother watched them suffer and felt a deep sense of satisfaction. That evening, she pretended to be sick again. When Henry came home, he found her lying in bed. He gently said, "No matter what happens, I will take care of you. I will sell everything if I have to, but I will get you the best treatment." But his wife had another wicked plan in mind. Smiling weakly, she said, "You don't need to do all that. To save my life, you only need to do one small thing." "What is it?" Henry asked. "Tell me quickly. I will do whatever you say." His wife replied, "Take the blood of your three daughters and rub it on my hands and feet. Only then will I get better." Hearing this, tears filled Henry's eyes because he loved his daughters more than anything. Silently, he left the room and began searching for them, but they were nowhere to be found at home. Worried, he looked everywhere until he reached the graveyard. There he saw his three daughters sitting beside their mother's grave, crying. His heart sank. On one side was his wife's cruel demand, and on the other was the safety of his daughters. Henry didn't know what to do. He realized that his wife would never be happy with his daughters, and they could never live peacefully with her. So he decided to take them far away. He hugged his daughters and said, "My dear children, don't be sad. Come with me. I will take you somewhere safe." He took them deep into the jungle, built a small clay stove, and cooked food for them. After eating, his daughters fell asleep under a tree. Henry looked at them one last time, kissed their foreheads, and quietly walked away. He thought, "At least my daughters will stay alive and be safe from their stepmother's cruelty." On his way back, he hunted a deer and took its blood to his wife. She applied it to her hands and feet, and feeling relieved, said, "Now I feel better." She believed that Henry had killed his daughters. Meanwhile, when the three sisters woke up, they realized their father was gone. They started calling for him, but there was no response. As night fell, the sounds of wild animals terrified them, and they began to cry. By chance, three friends had come to the jungle for hunting. As they were about to leave, one of them, named Nasir, said, "I feel like someone is in trouble. Do you hear crying?" His friends listened carefully and agreed. "Yes, someone is crying. Let's go and check. Maybe they need our help." Following the sound, they walked deeper into the jungle and found three beautiful girls sitting together, weeping. Nasir approached them and asked kindly, "Why are you here alone? Why are you crying so much?" Sophia told them their entire story. The young men felt deep sympathy for the sisters. After discussing among themselves, they decided, "Why don't we marry these girls? They will have a home, and our lives will be filled with happiness." So the three friends married the three sisters. Sophia was married to Nasir. Luckily, their houses were close to each other, so the sisters lived happily in their new homes. A year later, Sophia gave birth to a baby boy, bringing immense joy to her husband, his friends, and her sisters. As time passed, her son turned 2. One day, Nasir told his friends, "I want to go hunting in the jungle again. Come with me." But his friends refused, saying they had important work to do. "We can't go with you today." Nasir asked Sophia for permission and left alone. However, days passed and he didn't return. Sophia became extremely worried. Her sisters also grew anxious seeing her distress. Finally, her brother-in-law, one of Nasir's friends, reassured her, "Don't worry, we'll find Nasir and bring him back." But fate had other plans. When Nasir's friends went into the jungle to search for him, They too disappeared and never returned. Once again, grief struck the three sisters. One day, while Sophia was putting her son to sleep, there was a knock on the door. She opened it and saw an old mystic dressed in green standing outside. The mystic said, "Daughter, I am very hungry. Is there any harm in feeding a hungry person?" Sophia hesitated but eventually let him in and started preparing food. As she cooked, she felt his strange and unsettling gaze on her. Suddenly, the mystic came closer and said, "Listen, girl, I like you. Leave your son and marry me." Terrified, Sophia trembled and replied, "Baba, what are you saying? I am a married woman and a mother. How can you say such things?" Hearing this, the mystic became furious. Using his magic, he turned Sophia into a dog, tied a rope around her neck, and began dragging her away. Meanwhile, Sophia's son woke up and started crying loudly. Her sisters heard his cries, rushed to her house, and quickly picked up the child. They searched everywhere for Sophia, but she was nowhere to be found. After losing their stepmother years ago, they had now lost Sophia as well. Time passed and 14 years went by. During this time, Sophia's son had grown into a young man. His aunts had raised him with love and care. One day, the aunts told the young man the painful truth about his mother. Hearing this, he was deeply troubled and said, "Aunt, I will go into the jungle to find my mother and father." His aunts tried to stop him. "Son, what happened is in the past. Those who left are gone. We don't want to lose you too. Our husbands went into the jungle and never returned. If you go, who will we have left?" But the young man replied confidently, "Aunt, don't worry. I promise I will bring them all back." With that, he set off into the jungle. He wandered aimlessly, unsure of where to find his parents. After some time, he reached an area filled with stones. There he saw stone buildings and a small, beautiful stone house. As he carefully observed the house, an old man stepped out and asked, "Son, you look new here. Why have you come to this dangerous place?" The boy replied, "Grandfather, I've come to find my parents and uncle. A magician turned my mother into a dog and took her away." The wise old man sighed and said, "Son, this land belongs to a powerful magician. He turns anyone who disrespects or challenges him into stone. These stones around you were once people. A few years ago, a young man came here, followed by two others, but the magician turned them into trees and stones. There's also a pious girl he has kept captive for 12 years. He wants to marry her, but she refuses." After hearing this, the boy thought, "This girl must be my mother, and these people must be my family. I've finally found them." He shared his entire story with the old man and pleaded, "Grandfather, please help me. Is there any way to free these innocent people?" The old man, who had once lost his home because of Sophia's stepmother, smiled and said, "Son, God always helps those with pure hearts. Don't lose hope." Though the old man had been forced to live in this dangerous area, he promised to help the boy. He thought, perhaps saving this boy's mother will free everyone from the magician's prison. To protect the boy, the old man introduced him to the villagers as his grandson visiting from another village. When the magician suspected a stranger had entered the village, he immediately went to the old man and asked, "Who is this?" The old man replied, "This is my grandson." This is how the magician and the boy met. The boy hid his true identity and began meeting the magician regularly. One day the magician said, "You seem very smart, just like your grandfather, kind and innocent. Tomorrow I have a task for you. I'll send you to a building to deliver a message to a girl. I want to marry her." The boy realized he was finally going to meet his mother. Overjoyed, he decided to take flowers for her and planned to reveal his identity when the time was right. During Sophia's wedding, Nasir had given her a ring with his name engraved on it. Later, Sophia had passed the same ring to her son. Though it had been resized over the years, the boy still wore it. The wise old man advised him, "Hide your ring inside the bouquet of flowers. When your mother sees it, she will recognize you immediately. But this task won't be easy. The magician has placed a strict guard to watch her at all times." The magician greatly respected the wise old man and trusted his grandson to be virtuous. He began sending the boy daily with a bouquet of flowers for Sophia. Since the boy was only 14 years old, the magician didn't suspect him. Sophia was locked in a room where no man was allowed to enter. Every day the boy would bring her a bouquet of flowers, but a maid was always there, watching her closely. One day, luck was on his side. He got a rare chance when Sophia was alone in the room. Quickly, he removed the ring from his finger and hid it inside the bouquet of flowers. He placed the bouquet at Sophia's feet. As soon as it touched the ground, the sound of the ring caught her attention. Surprised, she picked up the bouquet and immediately recognized the ring tied among the flowers. It was the same ring she had given her son years ago. Her eyes instantly turned toward the boy who had brought the bouquet. The moment their eyes met, the truth became clear. Although the magician had imprisoned Sophia, her son had already started planning her rescue. To outsmart the magician, Sophia pretended to agree to marry him. Meanwhile, she cleverly uncovered the secret of his power. The magician revealed that his life was tied to a parrot, which was locked in a cage and hidden under a tree in a dense forest, guarded heavily. Sophia shared this secret with her son but warned him not to go, fearing the danger. However, the boy assured her that he would succeed and return safely. After days of struggle, he finally reached the forest. Seizing the right moment, he skillfully snatched the parrot from its cage and brought it back to the magician's fortress. When the magician saw the parrot in the boy's hands, he fell to his knees, begging for its return. But the boy was clever. He first forced the magician to release all the captives. Then he pulled the parrot's feathers, causing the magician's strength to weaken. Finally, he twisted the parrot's neck, and with that, the magician met his end. The boy had successfully freed his mother, Sophia, his father, Nasir, and all the other prisoners. They all went to the wise old man, expressing their gratitude before returning to their homes. Sophia's sisters were overjoyed to reunite with their husbands, who had been trapped in the magician's prison for years. Their father, who had been drowning in grief over losing his daughters, wept tears of joy upon seeing them safe. He apologized, explaining how his wife's conspiracies had caused all their suffering. His daughters comforted him, saying, "We are happy with our lives now." The father then revealed that their stepmother, who had been cruel to them, had suffered from a terrible illness and passed away. From that day forward, they all lived happily and peacefully. This story teaches us that even in the darkest times, hope, love, and determination can lead us to victory. No matter how difficult life gets, staying strong and believing in yourself can help you overcome any challenge. Just like Sophia and her son, we must never give up, no matter how impossible things may seem. If you enjoyed this heartwarming tale, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, English Tales, for more inspiring and engaging stories. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this story with your loved ones and let them feel the magic of hope and resilience too. Thank you for reading, and remember, your strength is your greatest superpower.